Thank you, Rabbi Holzplatz and Rabbi Alexander. Thank you, Ron Halber. Thank you, everyone, for joining us this evening. Two brothers known for their warmth and their faith. A doctor with a trademark bow tie. A married couple who was always giving back. A father with a dry sense of humor. A vibrant 97-year-old matriarch. A beloved dentist and family man, a petite grandmother with a huge personality, early risers and regular synagogue goers, good, kind, and loving people, people looking forward to the days and years ahead. Like you, I am mourning the loss of 11 of our extended family members. This weekend was heartbreaking, and that heartbreak is overwhelming. Among the congregants on Saturday was a Holocaust survivor. He survived Bergen-Belsen only to be nearly killed in Squirrel Hill. How can this be? What kind of world do we live in where this could happen? As you know, the attack in Pittsburgh followed just days after a despicable shooting in Kentucky in which two African Americans, Maurice Stallard and Vicki Jones, were murdered. More and more, we find ourselves asking, what can we do to change this? How can we make sure that love triumphs? Where do we go from here? I believe that where we go from here is towards each other. Now is the time to gather, united in common ideals and common purpose, united in the face of hatred. Rabbi Joseph Soloveitchik, one of the leading American rabbis of the 20th century, talks about two ways in which the Jewish community gathers. He describes the journey of the Israelites from Egypt to Kanaan. During their journey, they would at times live as a machaneh, a camp, while at other times as an edah, a congregation. This is true for us today as well. As a machaneh, we come together in self-defense. Ever since we were slaves in Egypt, Jews have united to protect ourselves against common enemies. This is an impulse that has helped the Jewish people survive, and unfortunately, one we must continue to follow. We have just suffered the deadliest attack against Jews in U.S. history, at a time when anti-Semitism is on the upswing. This is 2018, folks. We must reinforce our camp. We must respond. We must account for the outside forces that seek to do us harm. I am proud of the many efforts that have been launched in Pittsburgh and across the country to keep the Jewish community safe. Here in Greater Washington, the Jewish Federation is working in conjunction with the Jewish Community Relations Council to provide emergency grants to shore up security at synagogues and other local organizations. But even as we gather to defend ourselves, we must remind ourselves of the second reason why the Jewish community has gathered for thousands of years. We come together to form an edah, a congregation. Congregations are not about reacting to the outside world or to what has happened in the past. Rather, congregations are formed when we come together in pursuit of a shared vision. They reflect the intrinsic aspirations we have for ourselves and our future. They reflect our hopes, our dreams for our community. Importantly, coming together as an edah, as a congregation, helps us to build the world that we seek. Rabbi Lord Jonathan Sacks said that Jews and Judaism represent the voice of hope in the discourse of humankind. This is not hyperbole. Jewish tradition compels us to work together to continually improve ourselves and the world around us. It calls us to serve others with kindness, to pursue justice, to welcome the stranger, to protect the vulnerable, and to instill our shared values in the next generation. This is precisely what HIAS has been doing for 130 years and why it was the target in many ways of the attack. Our work is more important than ever. At a time when hate is taking a devastating and deadly toll on our country, we must strive to bring our highest ideals to life. Here in Greater Washington, That work is already underway. Together, we are building a community that cares for one another, that stands with each other and for each other, that treats everyone with dignity and respect. We are building a community that offers all who are interested the chance to learn and grow together, that honors Jewish tradition while reimagining Jewish life for a new century. We're building a community that welcomes people of all abilities and backgrounds, that strengthens the bonds we have with each other, with Israel, and with the global Jewish people. Importantly, we are building a community that acts as a force for good in the world. When we ask ourselves, where do we go from here? The answer must be that we come together as a camp and as a congregation, and most importantly, as a community to light the way forward. This weekend, on November 2nd and 3rd, synagogues across the country will observe a special Solidarity Shabbat. I hope you will join us and all the other members of the community as we come together to reject hate and reclaim Shabbat as a time of love and comfort. Today, the voice of the Jewish people may quiver in grief, but let us never forget the need to articulate hope. Most of all, let us never forget that we are not simply a people whose fate is shaped by others. We are a people who get to determine our own destiny. This is the task we have ahead. Even as our hearts break and as we worry about our collective safety, we must never lose sight of the world we are seeking to build. This is our common faith and our common future. May the memories of those who lost be for a blessing, and may our families and friends be comforted among the mourners of Zion in Jerusalem. Thank you very much.